Half time.
To the second session of the day here at the CIMB Foundation World Junior Squash Championships. This is the junior women's team event, and we're coming live from the Nicole David Arena here in Bukit Jalil, Kuala Lumpur, which is presented by Air Asia. Earlier on today, we saw Egypt stroll through that match against France by 3 games to love. No real surprise there. And in this evening's match, it's the United States that are the hot favourites as number 5 seeds, taking on South Korea, who are number 12 seeds. In the order, which is not this one, that was Egypt and France from earlier on. The one we were looking for. This is the order of play, which is 1-3-2 for today's matches, which means Marina Stefanoni takes on Chai Won-song to get us started, and then at number 3 string, Olivia Robinson against Shin Yu-jin, and then finally will be Caroline Spahr against Jang Ye-won.
Time.
Well, the players are ready, I'm ready, and somebody else who was born ready is Jenny Duncalf.
Good evening, Paul. Born ready, hey?
Oh yeah. We're feeling good, aren't we, after our little break between matches?
Well, you certainly are, because you made a visit to the gym.
Made a
first
visit to the
time
gym.
all week.
Well, I did go in there the other day, but it was just to collect a towel for the pool. I actually did something today.
Well, I can't talk because I went for a massage instead.
Well, you're looking very relaxed.
It was a very good one off a blind man, actually. No joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, ready for this match. It was a quick one that we commentated on earlier today.
Yeah, no real surprise there, was it? The strength in depth of that Egyptian team is going to take some stopping this week.
Certainly will, 8 times champions. So USA up against South Korea here. Kicking off with the number 1 strings, Marina Stefanoni against Chai Won-song. Marina's just absolutely slotted a forehand nick, and she says she's gone for it again, why not? And some snazzy socks.
Yeah. There's been a bit of a thing about socks this week, hasn't there? She's even got USA tattooed on her leg.
I think she might have a tattoo on her neck as well.
Why not? Good fun though. It's good to see stuff like that. These teams get into it in a big way.
Americans always so patriotic.
CIMB Foundation, WSF.
The shoes are letting her down a bit, aren't they? The yellow's just
Championship
out of whack.
2019. Pool D match between first string players. Marina Stefanoni from USA to serve. Chai Won-song from Korea to receive. Best of 5 games, level.
So the American number 1 gets this match underway. She was a quarter-finalist in the individual event last week. Actually took the eventual finalist, Jana Shihar, to 4 games. She led that match by 1 game to love.
Yeah, she's a fantastic prospect.
2
Only 16 years old still. Number 1 for her country in the juniors, and already number 70 in the world on the PSA rankings.
Yeah, it's amazing.
She's actually won a few titles as well already. She's won 3 5Ks on the trot pretty recently.
4 love.
In some nice locations actually. Bermuda, British Virgin Islands.
5 love.
Can't be bad.
No.
Well, she's not hanging around here.
Oh, that's nice.
6 love.
Yeah, we could be in for another quickie.
Opponent was stuck way back in the court there. No chance of returning
Down.
that.
7 love.
So South Korea have only actually brought 3 players with them. So each girl will be playing every single match, no reserve. That's a nice shot to get a point on the board.
And out.
Settle
1
her down a
7.
bit.
She'll be relieved with that. Yeah, that's great, straight drop shot. That's something that I've been impressed
Out,
by
8-1.
when watching Marina Stefanoni, not just this week, but also a couple of other occasions when I've seen her play. It's control, straight ball control down the backhand side. It's very, very good. And as we were touching on earlier, especially on a court like this, it's a big weapon.
Absolutely.
I'm sure she'll be needing to play many matches in the
No.
future on glass courts.
And out 2-8.
That's a lovely little angle. Caught the American off guard a bit.
Not up. Hand out 9-2.
She's not really being tested here so far, Marina Stefanoni.
10-2.
Having to
game
leave
ball.
the middle area of the court very often. It's that high drop shot she likes.
It's clever, isn't it? I never thought to play a shot like that, but it just
Hand out 3-10.
Buys
gives
a
you
bit
time,
more.
doesn't it? Casey Brown went through a phase of doing that really well.
It's got to be tight though, isn't it? It's got to be stuck to the sidewall if it's going to be effective.
Yeah, it still gives you that chance to get back
Down.
to the tee.
4-10. Game ball.
A couple of points backs.
Down. 11-4.
Well, that error
Game to USA.
From the racket of
USA
Chai
leads
Wong
1
Song.
game to love.
Hands the first game to a comfortable looking Marina Stefanoni. Just a 4-minute first game there. She takes 11-4.
Fifteen seconds.
USA leads 1 game to love. Love all.
So Marina Stefanoni will be looking to march on in the second game.
Down.
Yeah, I think that's the quickest,
One
or
love.
second quickest game we've seen, perhaps 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was a 3-minute game.
Yeah, there was yesterday, I think.
This morning.
Well, yeah. Feels like yesterday we had such a big break.
Farida Mohammed. It was interesting, that match this morning, because both the number 3 and number 2 strings for
And out 1-all.
France.
France got into it, didn't they? And I think that the Egyptian girls just took the eye off the ball for a second and made hard work of it really in the second, and then absolutely chopped up in the third.
They did. It's a good rally from Won Song.
Down.
It's unlucky, she was in there.
And out 2-1.
Just a rash error to finish it.
Yeah, it's perfect. Cannot get any more perfect than that with a
3-1.
2-wall boast. Second bounce rolling at the nick.
So we're in Pool D here. USA, the number 5 seeds. They beat South Africa yesterday 3-love. Marina didn't play in that match. And South Korea had a win against Sweden 2-1.
4-1. Well,
There's that straight drop again from Stefanoni. Really cutting that ball in on that occasion. And again, it's just too easy for her.
6-1.
Won Song putting the ball on Stefanoni's racket too often.
Yeah, similar to this morning, the Egyptians against France. There was quite a lot of shot practice going on at times with the lesser ranked or lesser seeded players, unfortunately leaving the ball in the middle area
Down.
far too many times.
And out 7-2. Down. 8-2.
Well, that's not going to help her cause either. She slides 6 points behind on the scoreboard now. Stefanoni
9-2.
looking very focused, very businesslike on that.
It's a great finish. Didn't know if it was going to be a
10-2
cross court or a
game
straight
ball.
drop.
Yeah, look how much time she had. So 8 game balls now for the number 1 from the United States.
And out 3-10. Game ball.
Oh, it's a nice strike down the backhand side wall, but I think it's too little,
Down.
too late, and that confirms
11-3. Game to USA.
Stefanoni will
USA
take
leads 2
2-love
games
lead.
to love.
Taking advantage of a lot of loose stuff through the middle and unforced errors from Won Song, and another 4-minute game. Stefanoni takes it 11-3.
So a little smile from Won Song as she left the court. She knows she's having a hard time out there. There is, has to be said, quite a gulfing difference in standard, but Stefanoni has one job to do, and she, as you said, Paul, is very businesslike. She's getting the job done in pretty sharpish time. Plenty of time to play her shots, looking extremely composed and relaxed, not getting stretched enough at all from the Korean point of view. So another extremely quick game, and it is the American that leads 2 games to love.
15 seconds.
USA leads 2 games to love. Level.
Difficult to see a way into this match for the girl from South Korea, Jenny, but what would you be advising her to
1
do?
love.
Good question. Tie your shoelaces a couple of times. It's always, for me, when you're playing someone who's a lot
And out.
better.
1-all.
It's a tricky one because I say try and stay on there as long as you can, but then you don't want to be too passive.
Yeah. It just needs to
And now,
be
2-1.
tighter, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the rallies are short. Just try to keep the ball off the strings of Stefanoni and right on cue.
3-1.
She's not really had to leave the middle of the court too often.
Bit of a, again there, just a bit of a stroll for today so far. But it's great to see these countries, South Korea,
Down.
taking part
And
in
out.
the World
2-3.
Junior Championships. We've also got Chinese Taipei here for the first ever time.
Yeah.
Had quite a few tournaments actually in South Korea. Used to play the Seoul Open.
Oh, yeah.
It's always a big one. Used to put a glass court up
3-all.
in the middle of Seoul. It was pretty cool actually, and the public didn't know anything about squash, but there were hundreds and hundreds of them lining up for autographs, and
Oh, wow.
I remember them all wanting to sign their phones. I was thinking, really?
Sign the phones.
Sign their
No.
phones? I was thinking, really?
That's an interesting one.
4-3.
Didn't have a clue who we were, but, but they were lovely. I really enjoyed those tournaments.
Yeah. Yeah, that's only going to help the game of squash.
I actually did a camp there once,
And out.
believe it or not. It
4-all.
was kind of random for a week. I led a
Was that
camp.
attached to the tournament?
No, it was years later.
Just out the blue.
Yeah, and so I prepared for it all and arrived there to be told I had an
5-4.
interpreter because not one person would be able to speak English. I said, oh brilliant, at least I've got an interpreter who could barely speak English
Hello.
himself. So it was a pretty interesting
And
week,
out.
but
5-all.
actually really enjoyed it.
Cool.
I had the interpreter on court with me, doing individual lessons.
Down. Hand out 6-5.
Well, she's putting a few points on the board in this game. One song. That's a better length, you see.
Yeah.
Much
Hand
better.
out 6-all.
So a comeback here from one song.
One song is on song.
On song, I was waiting for that. I was
Been
wondering
desperate
who'd
to
do
say
it
that.
first.
Been desperate to say that. Now I've got the chance. She's 6-all in this third game.
Down.
Oh. Lackadaisical there from the
7-6.
American.
It's nice.
Down.
Oh, that's
Oh.
unlucky.
She was there.
Hand out 7-all.
First drop she played was excellent. Took it in nice and sharply. Dragged Marina Stefanoni out into that front corner. Just made the error.
Down. Hand out 8-7.
Wow. What a turnaround in this third game.
Down. Hand out.
Well, we've said it
8-all.
time and time again in this morning's match, Jenny. It's getting to 8-all is the easy bit. Getting to 11 is the tough part of this. We saw
Oh,
time and time again, but she's
pulled that shot out the bag.
yeah one
And
step
out
closer now.
9-8.
Look at this. Unbelievable. See a couple more like that.
Yeah, it's good from Stefanoni though.
Hand out
Nice
9-all.
little bit of hold at the top of the swing, and then rips it through across the court. It was never coming back.
She's a pretty chilled player, Stefanoni.
Cheers. Not give much away.
Not at all.
10-9, match ball.
She's been made to work a little bit harder in this third game, but she does have the first match ball. It's a lovely drop shot. An apt finish to the match there.
Match to USA.
Just too accurate, really. It's good effort from Chai Won-song in that third game.
11-3, 11-9.
Marina Stefanoni of the USA puts that first win on the board in just 17 minutes. 11-4, 11-3, 11-9.
Well, the young 16-year-old #1 American was in cruise control in those first 2 games. Plenty of play around the middle of the court for her, so she could practice her shots, but the third was a different story. It was good to see Chai Won-song really respond and try and test the American a little bit. I'm sure she's gained a lot from that match, but overall it was a little bit too easy for the American, and I'm sure she'll be glad to put her team 1 match up and get some time on the glass court. So a convincing win for the American #1.
So there you see it. First tie in the bank for the United States. And next up, we've got the #3 string matchup between Caroline Spahr of the United States and Jang Yi-won from South Korea. And they'll be on court warming up any time now.
Half time.
Well, here we go with the second match. We've just seen Marina Stefanoni put in a convincing performance against Chai Won-sung. The United States are one game to the good. Caroline Spahr taking on Jang Yi-won. This is the number 3 string match. One thing that we should acknowledge, Jenny, is how smart the United States of America kit is.
Yes, a few people have been commentating. We've been commentating, other people have been commenting.
Yeah.
On
An easy
it.
mistake to make.
Yeah, I did notice you stopped in your tracks as we came into the arena. The 4 girls were knocking up on courts.
Well, credit where credit's due.
Yep, they did look the part, a bit like the Egyptians this morning. Very slick outfits
Yeah.
by Nova Apparel, I think. A couple of the PSA girls sponsored by them, Naila Gillis and Olivia Blatchford Klein. So who designs them, Paul? Did we find out a bit earlier?
I don't know the name of the girl who designed them, but an American squash playing college student or something like that.
A college player. Well, they are very nice.
I think if you speak to Ashleen Blake, who's with this team, you might be able to get your hands on one.
Not really my style, to be fair,
No?
but
Wouldn't you wear that?
I was sponsored by Adidas for quite a lot of my career, and I did wear the odd dress and really actually liked it. They're very comfortable, but I think I have a habit of touching the bottom of my vest top a bit, and obviously you can't do that with a dress.
Right.
So it felt a bit, I don't know, I just prefer the skirt and
Time.
vest top combo myself, but I think the dresses look lovely.
I was asking Scott Devoy where his was, and
It's for later.
told me it was just having a few minor alterations done.
It's in the dry cleaners.
Huge match tomorrow in this group. USA take on England, and that will decide which of the teams progress with an easier draw. That's if it all goes to seedings today. It's difficult to see South Korea managing to turn this match around now, but you never know.
You never know. Yeah, that should be a good match. Shame it's not on the glass, but everyone's got to have their fair share. There's been some fantastic matches, have to say, on the back courts, but unfortunately all our viewers on Squash TV and Facebook and PSA can't actually see. But lots of close matches in the group so far, not too many upsets.
CIMB Foundation
She looks flexible. South Korean.
2019 holding match between third string players Jang Yi-won of Korea to serve, Caroline Spahr of USA to receive, best of 5 game level.
Lovely introduction to the match there from the official. Relaxing voice he's got, isn't it, Jenny?
Yeah, I like that one.
Felt
It's quite
myself,
soothing.
Just relaxing into my chair when I was listening to that. Whoa, what a length. That'll do nicely for Jang Yi-won.
One left.
Good way to start the match.
Oh, nice kill.
Hand out
She meant
1
business
all.
with that one, Caroline Spahr. This will be her last World Junior Championships, a tournament as a junior. Great drive. She's heading off to college, like many American juniors do. Heading to Princeton in September. A bit of inside info. So we don't know too much about some of these juniors, so it's nice to try and find out a little bit more.
Yeah.
3-1.
Well, she's really rattled that ball through to the back of the court. South Korea not seeing that early enough to respond.
Oh, she just got it back, I think.
Yes, lad.
Oh,
Yes, lad. 3-1.
Tell you what, Charlotte Spahr didn't look impressed by that decision, did she?
neither did Caroline Spahr.
Ah.
I'm only getting you back because I was calling in Anita yesterday.
Anita, Mustafa Mohammed.
Mustafa Mohammed.
That's because I've actually written it down wrong as well.
Oh, that's worse.
4-1.
I at least try to write down the correct information.
Well, I was writing it down, copying off your handwriting. Obviously can't read it.
5-1.
Your glasses again. Well, too much space left open there for the American to hit into. So 5-1.
Down.
Ooh, it's unlucky. She's very much in front
Now.
at the moment. Her positioning on the court.
2-5.
Yang Yi-won finding it a little bit difficult to get in front of the American.
And now 6-2. Down.
Oh, it's not far off.
7-2.
Popular shot that we've seen this week, especially with the girls. Good two-wall boast is so hard to play against, isn't it? Who had the best two-wall boast that you played against, Jenny?
Good question.
Down.
Oh,
Laura?
yeah,
Mhm.
to be fair, she had a good boast. It was sometimes really bad though, weirdly. She was so good at playing it, at times she could overplay it, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with two-wall boast, isn't it? There's two ways you can get it
9-2.
wrong. One is by getting the angle wrong, and the other one is by overplaying it.
Yeah, with Laura it was more, she added a bit, it was slightly more deceptive. So she played it quite late at times, so it was quite hard to read.
Down.
Bit of hold.
10-2 game ball.
Well, it is Caroline Spahr with a whole bunch of game balls
And
here
now
to take the first.
3-10 game ball.
Rachel Gridham always had a really good boast, which was frustrating. She could drag you around the court pretty well.
Not up.
Right, it's another
11-3
hard
game to USA.
drive
USA lead,
from
1
the
game to
racket
love.
of the American. Five-minute first game there. Caroline Spahr takes it 11-3.
So again, very strong start from the Americans. Caroline Spahr looking once again comfortable like her teammate did in the previous match. Jang Ji-won chasing everything down but just leaving too many spaces on the court at the moment. She needs to try and really contain the American and get her accuracy a little bit better when she's got the chance. Try not to rush it, but at the moment it's all about America. And Caroline Spahr dominating so far.
USA lead 1 game to love. Love all.
Tell you what, she's giving that good pummeling into the ground.
She
hasn't
was. That was some
Obviously
serious
not warm enough for
bouncing.
her.
Yes, sir.
Should have hit that behind her back
Flat.
earlier on.
Oh, it's well straightened from there. She did that once or twice in
One
the
love.
first game.
A lot of these girls won't have played on a glass court before, and one thing that we know about the glass is that the ball really does die off, so it's extremely important, unless you
Love.
want it to be dead and you're aware of it, to warm the ball up before you start each game. And if you're playing an attacking play, you've got to be ready to move, push up the court, ready to move.
Yeah.
You'd always get the odd player who just wouldn't go and warm it up, and they'd just be about to serve, and you'd have to say,
3 left.
a few shots, please.
4 left.
And just see the figure of Squash Sight's legendary Steve Cubbins there in his stripy shirt. I'm not sure I've seen him in anything other than that shirt. Have you?
And out 1
Whatever.
4.
Well, not in the last 2 or 3 days. Not
Maybe you
ever.
should have a word with him, Jenny.
Foul.
I might.
Too sure what you're trying to suggest here.
And
Well,
out 5-9.
Caroline Spahr is too much for the South Korean to handle in the early stages of the second.
Yeah,
Too
again,
much
just
power.
leaving the ball in the middle of the court
6-9.
for the American to mop up.
6-1.
Good hands.
No lad.
Yes.
No lad.
Just not seeing that early enough, but it was
7-1.
unlucky really. Just clipped the front wall nick, didn't she, on that drive? But good improvisation from Caroline Spahr to deflect it back into the front corner. That's a tight ball though.
And out 2-7.
Get that.
Oh,
Oh, beautiful. Pace that she got that ball
3-7.
around the angles there. See how late.
can't hit it much better
Spahr
than
sees
that.
it. Yeah, it was good. A couple of good signs here for the South Korean, but she needs to be consistently finding those targets if she's going to get into it.
Oh, it's unlucky. She was through and onto it.
Yeah.
And out 8.
17
3.
years old. She'll be back again hopefully next year on the individual teams. Individual teams? Is there such a thing? That's the new event coming next year. In the individuals, sorry.
9-3.
Not sure why she's apologising for
And
that.
now
Thought it looked like a good shot to
4-9.
me. Oh, it's good
Again.
again,
Right
yeah,
up.
she likes that. Showing that on both sides.
5-9.
Oh, beauty.
She plays that well.
And that's a great length as well. Fist pumps out, Jen.
Yeah.
6-9.
She means business.
Why not?
She can apologise for that one. I think that was a bit fortunate.
7-9.
It's the boast again, though. It was fortunate, but still, it's worked well against the tall American.
Down.
Oh, that's an edgy shot.
It is.
8-9.
See, it just shows. Get a little bit closer on the scoreboard. You never know what can happen.
Yeah, she's just been. There was a few rallies there where she just went really clinical and whipping the ball around the angles and
Stroke to USA.
Stroke to USA. And
Caroline Spahr will feel
Penny,
quite relieved to get that
game
ball
ball.
in hand and be serving with 2 game balls here in the second game. She will not want to be leaving the court at 1-all, and she's not going to do, because that
11-8
drive into the back
USA
corner again
leads 2 games to love.
seals the second game. More of a competitive game there from the South Korean, but it is Caroline Spahr holds a nerve at the end. It's a 6-minute game, takes it 11-8.
Well, better signs for South Korea. Yang Yi-won making a lot more inroads into the American. She's got some confidence in that match, in that game, sorry, and she's put a few shots away. But the Americans still a little bit too strong, especially as we've seen from the high-seeded teams. Their players seem to really knuckle down towards the end and play the business points well. So the American will be relieved to have come through that one. It wasn't as comfortable as the first game, but still very much in the driving seat at 2 games to love.
Fifteen seconds.
USA leads 2 games to love. Love all.
So Caroline Spahr, we're going to see what we saw early on as well in that Egyptian match. I keep talking about this, don't I? But
It has happened.
yeah, it's happened a few times. I think it might just refocus Caroline
One
Spahr,
love.
and you could see it step on the gas in this third
The
game.
gas.
Yes. Ooh, that's nicely done though. Got quite
And
quick
now
hands, hasn't
1-all.
she, this South Korean girl?
Yeah. Short backswing.
There's been a few balls that she's sort of taken in
Down.
as the ball's rising at the back of the service
now
box. Got to
2-1.
rack it into the ball quickly.
So the Americans these days, Paul, they're quite turning into quite a squash nation, aren't they? You were
Yeah.
at the British Junior Open
And now
Yeah, they had a
This is-
phenomenal.
contingent. I
Week
saw some
there.
pictures, and there seemed to be hundreds of them.
Yeah, I think there's about 11 or 12 coaches there as well, which is great. You know, it's great to see that they send such a big
3-2.
squad with support staff as well, all in the kit. It's quite an impressive outfit. I think it was I want to say it was the under 11, sorry, the under 13 girls. It might be under 15 girls, but I think out of
4-2.
five,
Right, box, please.
5 players, 4 of them made the last 16,
Wow.
something along those lines. So that bodes well for the future,
It does.
especially in a team event like this, because as we know, Egypt are the force that they are because of the strength in depth. It's no
5-2.
good just having a strong number 1 and then fading away down the order. So if you've got 4 or 5 players who are capable of reaching the last stages of a tournament like that,
Absolutely.
who knows what the future holds.
Of course, pretty much 99.9% of them all go to college
And
after their junior
3-5.
careers. Massive incentive for players to pick up a squash racket
Yeah.
in America.
And you don't see quite the same volume of players coming through and joining the PSA, do you?
But I think these days they see the likes of Amanda Sobey, Harvard graduate, top 10 player now. Ali Farag, of course, world number 1.
Down.
Seen a lot of Egyptians starting to have a little
4-5.
look at the options of American colleges as well.
Five all.
Well, Spahr still not having it all her own way on here. It's my prediction of a running away with this third game
6-5.
was incorrect.
And these American kids are going to have some serious, well, they already do, facilities to ply their trade at. Oh, what a finish. That was amazing.
7-5.
Let's have a look. Look at the hair. She,
I'm sure you
yeah,
teach that technique,
she
would you,
almost,
Jenny?
she wasn't allowed to admire the shot because her hair got in the way.
Down.
But yeah, Philadelphia, huge hub
8-5.
of American squash, in the process of building a brand new national centre with countless courts. Penn University, I think, have also
Yeah, they're just
built,
about to,
or about
be
to.
ready, aren't
full glass courts. It's
they? Yeah, it's
quite a country for facilities.
It's unbelievable. I've just come back from Trinity College. They've got eight hard courts and eight hard courts and 2 glass courts, and they're knocking it down and building a bigger and better one. Amazing.
Amazing. My club in
9-5.
Brisbane, shout out to Stafford Squash Centre. Possibly not in a positive light, because I'm just saying we don't have 1 glass back, unfortunately. So maybe one day, but with plenty of other things to make up for that.
Yeah.
Quite a difference in facilities in some countries to others.
Yeah, it's good length.
10-5.
Good
Match
length
ball.
into that back left corner once again from Caroline Spahr. She's got her hands on 5 match balls now to take this tie for the United States.
Down.
Couldn't quite scrape it back there,
11-5.
Jang
Match
won.
to USA.
Competed well in the
3
last
games
2
to love.
games, but the
11-3,
American did
11-8,
prove to be
11-5.
too much for her to handle. 19 minutes, that number 3 string match. Caroline Spahr taking it 11-3, 11-8, 11-5.
So in less than 20 minutes, once again, the American players showing their dominance in this tie. Caroline never looked too much in danger, apart from a little spell in the middle of the second game where Yan Yi-won showed a bit of what she can do. But overall, it was all about the American looking good out there. She's put some shots away, that's for sure. Not played too many times on the glass court, so I'm sure she's enjoyed that one, and she's won the tie for her country, so she can sit back and enjoy the next match, as you all can. Let's be starting anytime.
Certainly can, Jenny, and that will be Olivia Robinson of the United States taking on Shin Yoo-jin from South Korea at number 2 string. The United States have got the tie in the bank, but we will be playing out this 3rd and final match as a 5-setter. So do join us in a couple of minutes for that.
Half time.
Well, this will be the final match of the day here on Squash TV. Olivia Robinson taking on Shin Jin, number 2 string in this United States of America versus South Korea match. It's been reasonably comfortable for America so far this match, Jenny.
Yeah, pretty much. The odd flurry of points from the Koreans, but nothing to threaten them really. It's been very straightforward.
I've mentioned it already for the United States team. There's a big match on tomorrow, so they'll be wanting to put this one to bed, get back and start making preparations for that match at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning against England.
Certainly will. See, Olivia Robinson's got the old USA written on her leg as well. Look like triathletes or something, don't they?
Yeah.
So interestingly, a bit more research, Olivia originally wasn't going to be in the team. Another girl at their under-19 nationals made the quarters, and apologies, it's the only one if I get this wrong, but another girl I think had made the quarterfinals and was going to make the team unless Olivia Robinson won the entire tournament. And to do that, she had to beat someone who she'd never ever beaten before, and that was Marina Stefanoni.
She beat Marina.
So she beat Marina Stefanoni for the first time ever in that final, 3-2,
Time.
Wow.
to make the team. And here she is. And also in that tournament, in the second round, Olivia Robinson was match balls down and came through to win a second round and go on to win the event.
Well, that sounds like a emotional roller coaster, but good on her.
Yeah, got the seat on the plane. And in other news, she is actually coached by Mohammed Abbas in New York.
Mohammed Abbas, yeah.
Yeah, who was a lovely player. Got to number 13 in the world.
Well, I'm going to tell you a story now
Go
about
for it.
Mohammed Abbas. He was the same age as me. He still is the same age as me.
He was, he
Yeah.
stopped. He had a couple of years off.
Yeah, but I once played him because as a younger junior, he was not one of the top Egyptians. But I found myself 2 games to 1 up against him in the British Junior Open at Abbeydale, and I want to say I was about 7-5 up or something like that, and the sole of my shoe
Oh no.
completely came away, and I was panicking. I had to borrow a pair of shoes off Andy Whip. I lost that
15
game.
seconds.
I think I lost the last 9 love. in the
Oh
fifth.
no. Oh,
And
Paul.
but I'd never lost to him before that.
Really?
Yeah. But he went on to great things after that.
CIMA Foundation WSF World Junior
So
Women's
get
Team
yourself
Squash
some
Championship
decent pairs of
2019.
shoes, kids.
Pairs of
Match
shoes. That's
between
the key to the
second
story.
string players.
Well, I hope
Caroline
not
Spahr of USA to serve.
ditching him in it,
Jang
but
Yeon of Korea to receive. Correction.
apparently
Olivia
on.
Robinson of USA to serve. Shin Jin of Korea to receive. Best of 5 game level.
apparently in the individuals, Sam Todd forgot his shoes, as you do when you're playing a quarter-final of the World Championships, and had to borrow his teammates.
Oh, look at that for a
Oh.
drive. That's an absolute rocket.
1 love.
Down that backhand side wall from Olivia Robinson.
She looked good actually. I was
That's
just
that match.
in there when we were admiring their kit. I was also admiring this girl's technique. They're doing drop drive and extremely straight hitting.
Down.
And I did wonder
And
who her
out,
coach was
1-0.
actually. And then Ashlyn Blake, inside information, told me.
Is that where you got all that other info from, is it?
Nah, that was just in my brain.
You just
No.
knew that?
Yeah,
Heard it on the grapevine?
yeah, you know. It's my mole.
To
There's an
1.
Irish mole in the building. In the shape of the USA coach. Nice, nice.
Head up.
Seen a lot of that from the juniors. It's good to
Hand
see
out,
at the
2
front
all.
there. Nice bits of hold and then just placing the drop in.
Yeah. Quick movement onto the ball, and then just nudging it into the front.
3-2.
Shin Yu-jin, just 16, so very young still. I mean, this is such a great trip for them, just the 3 girls, unless one of them gets injured or ill, of course, then it's not so good. But playing
No.
every single match.
Well, yeah, easy for the coach
Selection-
to select the
yeah.
team, isn't it?
Yeah,
Don't
you'll-
want to offend anybody.
Selection committee can relax.
4-2.
Again, that's well put away. Had to switch from backhand to forehand there, but wasn't phased.
We've seen so much of that, haven't we? Too many
5-2.
balls from the less experienced players landing in the middle of the court.
Yeah.
And again. It's better. It's good. Very good.
Hand out
That's
3-5.
it. Just that extra bit of length and width.
Yeah, I could see that really stretched Olivia out into that deep left area of the court. But again, that was a loose one.
Hand out 6-3.
Oh, take that.
Hand out 4-6.
That's a nice finish.
5-6.
Shin Yu-jin keeping herself well and truly in touch in this first game. Only 1 point in it.
Hand out 7-5.
She's happy with that.
Hand
So
out
she should be.
6-7.
Look at that. Inch perfect.
Well, she had the chance to take the forehand volley, but she let it go.
Hand out 8-6.
Could possibly shown some impotence. Could have taken the forehand volley. Shot.
9-6.
Direct lines from the American.
She's opened up a 3-point gap again on the scoreboard, and that nice little
10-6
roll around the
game
angles
ball.
buys her 4-game balls. Oh, I love it. That's very quick onto that backhand volley. Pressure's on, and that's going to be good enough
11-6. Game to USA.
to clinch the
USA
first
lead,
game.
1 game to love.
Had to refocus just at the back end of that game, Olivia Robinson, but she does just that, and in 6 minutes takes the game 11-6.
So the American following suit of her teammates, looking pretty comfortable out there, not being tested too much, but it's not going all her way. Yang Yuan is moving well around the court. She just needs to keep it out of the middle of the court because it's there too many times, and the American is pretty adept at putting those balls away. So she's going to have to really respond here. Shin Yu-jin to get back into this match because it's all America right now.
USA lead 1 game to love. USA to serve. Love all.
Ah, it's a beautiful backhand volley.
1 love. Down. 2 love. Down. And out 1, 2.
Good rally here from the girls.
Oh,
That's down.
I think she's saying she's not sure if she got it. Is she?
And out 3-1.
Did she get that?
Not sure. I thought she was saying to ref that she was unsure if it was good.
Hmm.
It was lucky.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's
Oof.
a nice finish again.
Big difference that. That could have been 2-all. Now it's 4-1.
4-1.
Finish. Cuts
Nice.
nicely
Very good.
down on the ball.
That was a bit fortuitous.
Well,
5-1.
Taking half of the back wall with it.
1-all. It's gone very quickly to
Down.
5-1.
And out 2-5.
Acres of space there for the American to
And now 6-2.
put the ball into. She's sending it in there with plenty of pace as well, making it impossible for Shin Jin to cope with that. And again, she likes that, doesn't she? That quick
7-2.
onto that ball on the short line.
Left box,
Just
please.
rolls it in, nice and sharp, nice and low, nice and straight. Oh, it's nicked.
8-2. Right box, please.
So 6 points clear now. Olivia Robinson.
It's close. Doesn't matter. Korean
And out
in that way
3-8.
very nicely.
Oh, that's
Oh,
great
that
It was,
improvisation.
wasn't it?
Almost landed on her foot.
4-8.
They do tend to be pretty good, have good reactions and quick reflexes, the Koreans.
Down.
So a little fight back here.
Yes. Nice run of play. We saw this in the
5-8.
first as well. Good to see. You know, you've got to keep firing, keep pushing, keep digging deep. That's
good.
a lovely straight kill there
Well,
from the South Korean.
The biggest fist pump we've seen from the Korean team.
6-8.
Get in there. 6-8. Oh, it's a good shot. Did you volley it? Just very
Yeah.
well played.
Just put too much space between
And now
her opponent and the ball there.
9-6.
Did well actually.
She
was
did. That was
full
a big
stretch.
jump. She had to volley it as well.
Nice, positive, proactive
10-6,
squash again
game
from the
ball.
American. Looking to take the ball as early as she possibly can, and she sits on the scoreboard with 4 game balls for a 2-love lead. That's perfect.
Up.
Perfect again. Well played,
11-6,
Olivia Robinson.
USA
Had to
is
once
2 games
again
to love.
refocus after a mini fight back from Shin Jin. Another 6-minute game and another 11-6 game. 2-love to the United States.
So a really strong start to the game from Olivia Robinson. Lots to like about the Americans' play. Very clinical around the middle and can hit the ball straight very well. But it was a great little fight back in the middle of that game. A flurry of points from Shin Yin, showing us what she can do. She never gave up, persevered. The American got a couple of lucky ones throughout, but was generally still on top and stepped up her game with a lot of positive play towards the end of it. Looking pretty aggressive to finish that game. So the American leads 2 games to love.
USA leads 2 games to love. USA to serve. Love all. One love.
Good.
More good straight hitting from Robinson.
2 love.
Does look very focused. Look at this.
Beauty.
She looks like a player with a good
Yeah.
attitude that doesn't take anyone lightly. Wants to keep her level consistent and intensity consistent.
Ooh. It's a bit of,
4 love.
bit of a lucky one.
Yeah. She had 2 or 3, which she doesn't really need. Oh, I think it, it was. She does want this match over pretty quickly. Looking to volley. It's always a good sign. As a young player. Onto it early and bang.
Yeah.
5 love.
Stretching Shin Jin into all corners of the court there.
Yeah, I like this American girl. It's pretty impressive.
Shot.
It's a nice
Yeah.
finish.
Yeah. Very clinical.
And now
Good racket
1
work there
5.
from the South Korean.
Very
Good
nice.
technique that, Jenny.
Stylish, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit of your backhand drops
Does
at
it?
that, you know.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
just a little bit. Nice preparation, cutting down the back of the ball. Have to ask her, maybe she can model herself on you.
We'll see. Doubt it.
And
She
now
doesn't have a clue who I am.
6-1.
She's only 16. Or maybe she was on the camp that I did. Who knows?
7-1.
How long ago was it?
I'm going to take credit for that backhand drop.
Yeah.
Probably about 3-4 years ago.
Well, if she wasn't, she's maybe coached by someone who was.
Maybe.
What up?
Maybe it was the interpreter who's coaching her now, because he probably learnt the most that week.
8-1.
He learnt a lot of new phrases. He knows what a drive and boast is. Follow through. Back to the tee. Could be national coach by now. Shot.
Nice.
And out.
Well, she's hanging on for dear life, Shin Yu-jin, but it's good to see her still getting stuck in and firing in where she can. Nobody wants to see anybody's resistance fade away towards the end of a match, and good to see that she's
And
still
out.
getting stuck in.
9-2. And up.
Shot.
Wow, it's
10-2. Match ball.
another attack into that front left corner. 8 match balls now for Olivia Robinson to finish off proceedings this evening.
11-2.
And there it is. It was an impressive
Match
third
USA
game there from Olivia Robinson.
3 games to love.
Very
11-6.
dominant.
11-6.
Not let Shin
11-2.
Yu-jin stop trying in any way. It was just sheer dominance and aggressive squash from Robinson. Just 4 minutes to take the last game. 19-minute match in total. 11-6, 11-6, 11-2.
So our third match, just under 20 minutes, like the other two. Very impressive performance from Olivia Robinson. I was very impressed with the way she looked to hunt the ball down throughout the match. She never dropped her intensity, always looked to volley. Nice compact technique. Tidied up the ball well around the middle. But the young Korean Shin Yu-jin never gave up, which we always want to see. I'm sure she's enjoyed her time out there representing her country. But ultimately, very convincing performance from the American to clinch the tie.
So the scoreboard tells it all. It was a straightforward match for the United States here in day 2 of Pool D. Marina Stefanoni, Caroline Spahr and Olivia Robinson all winning in straight sets. Well, as I say, that finishes the evening session, and we'll be back tomorrow. There's one more round of pool play at 11 o'clock, which is Malaysia against Canada on the show court. And then from the evening session onwards, we'll be moving into the quarter-final playoff stage of this World Team Championships, and obviously the draw is to be confirmed. So please do join us tomorrow from 11 o'clock local time here in Malaysia, and for now, good night.